Welcome back, everyone. This is Where is Boar playing you the game where I constantly forget to save. But not this time. This time I did save. This is also known as the Scumbag Uncle Simulator. So, where we left off was turning on the lights here, apparently. But let's go ahead, take a look, review our emails real quick here. Alright, so let's go ahead, proceed. That's the word I'm looking for today. Let's proceed to the next day, and I also forgot to turn off the lights, which luckily I'm almost broke. Oh, actually, I am broke. Negative 2133 there in the corner. So, so my goal today is to get out of this negative balance and hopefully be 1,000 over. Uh, which luckily I think we are at the point where I can focus on making more and more money and still keep the video less than, and hopefully less than 30 minutes, just because most of this, like this right here, I don't think you guys need to see over and over. Now, of course, I could be entirely wrong, but, and since I don't really remember all of these here, cool. We do not need to put on the antivirus. And whatcha! All right, next. We have to do an upgrade. And in fact, I think we are building two PCs, which is honestly probably why we are so negative, is because uh, I had to buy the parts to it, which I mean can be a bad investment. I personally think it's a pretty good investment. Take a look here, Melbo. He also wants green plastic cables. Take a look at that here. Well, okay, so I know what that email is, and since I'm not really doing anything here, I can quickly go over with you guys on what that is. So the video streamer guy, person, he uh he finally found out that sharing his videos is what he calls it. But basically, he he downloads videos or he burns them to his hard drive, one of the two, right? And then he puts it on his website where he then hosts it so people can watch it, right? They can stream with and whatnot. And he didn't know this, but that is actually legal. Uh, so kids, make sure that you do not stream or you do not torrent from sketchy sites. Make sure if you are streaming, you are using a qualified site that is legally operated and ran, and that what you're watching is not illegal in any form or way. Otherwise, there can be consequences. And while we are waiting for the 3D Mark Advanced Edition here to download, hey guys, if you like what you see and you really want to support the channel, feel free, hit the like button, subscribe, and you guys can always leave a comment. Let me know what in particular you like, what you don't like. I do monitor everything, and I view the analytics in a way to improve what I am bringing to you guys. Otherwise, I don't know, right? So, yeah, hit the like, hit the subscribe, leave a comment. Thanks, guys. Which one was I looking at over here? This is critical. So we need to be able to do the hateful boyfriend, a school of hope, and white wings. 4 gigs, 750 G44. One thing I really like about this case is that you just swing this open. Uh, that does save a lot of time, like more so than you would actually realize. Bup, bup, bup. Is there any reason why I would run one versus the other? What am I doing with the other PC? This guy. Okay. Budget of 900. So, let's get to it. Alright, so we are moving along. I feel like I do have to do this as a reminder. Kids, if you are planning on working on your own PC and you're replacing the CPU, make sure you put thermal paste. 2 disclaimers, 1 video. Jeez, I am on pace for a record, I think, for myself. But yeah, just because this is a game on how to build your PC, it would be appropriate to remind people on common courtesy, uh, especially if you're looking at someone else's PC. Make sure you do the bare minimum to do the right things. Right. For myself personally, if I was building my own PC, I don't really care what I do to it, right? Because it's mine. But if I'm doing it for somebody else, I will make sure to do the best I can. Make sure that they are being taken care of. Okay, that's it to you. What, and if you guys didn't know what I was doing there, I was measuring how many U's that is. And in particular, what slot it'll go in. Just so that way I can put it in on the first try, rather than, pull it out and find out that I need to remove these 2, but I remove like 2 bottoms or just things like that. Makes it easier for myself in the long run. Okay, let's remove this. Oh, and one thing too, I am going to be constantly monitoring my recording here, just because the last couple of times it did stop recording, and honestly, it makes me feel a little bit bad because I do have conversation throughout the video, and sometimes I'm thinking that I'm making a really good point, and then I look down and I haven't been recording for 10, 20 minutes, and then you guys might get like just overall really bad parts, I think, to the episode, and that's not my intent. But because, and especially in a game like this, if this is like Cluster Truck or something, right, where it's a level based game, I can go back and replay it. The see here. So it's not powering on. That tells me power button. And what I was saying. Oh right, is that if this is the type of game where I can go back and replay a part, that's not an issue. Uh, but in this case, I can't go back and replay PC Building Simulator without starting a whole entire new save. 770. Let's take a look here. No, I think that's good. I think that gives us the biggest bang for our buck here. Let's go ahead and remove these two cables. Uh, but yeah, so I sort of have to upload the videos, even if I'm not proud of it, which is a shame, right? Because I do want to get better, but it's hard to get better when I have to cut corners like that. Because then otherwise you're missing critical parts to particular side stories and whatnot. And that is where it becomes a dilemma, right? Is that I can just upload videos if I wanted to. Fortunately, the last one I had to upload. But like I said, nature of the game. But yes. Uh, lessons learned. I'm just going to constantly monitor the the recording. That way, hopefully, I can catch it early if it does turn off. I did find out also I do have a hotkey. I have a hotkey 7-8. Something potentially I might be hitting just the wrong button. Hopefully that is the case, and I'm just being overly cautious. But hey, you can never be too safe. Okay, and while I'm still going through this, uh, yes, I do want to really. I do want to. I'm struggling here. Eventually, build my own PCs. To do that, I need the PC bay, and to do that, I need PXP and money, which both of which I don't have right now. Also, doesn't help that I'm working on a charity thing right now, because this gets me absolutely nothing. But since I've never done it, who knows? Maybe this is actually a huge payday. I have a sneaking sensation it really isn't, but you never know. Okay, start wiring things together. I also realized I didn't put on the CPU. I thought I did though. Okay, and we are close to 5 stars, but the one task that had the green cables, I think it's going to ding us a little. But it's okay. I don't want to spend another $100, especially when I don't have $100. All right, let's go ahead, download the 3D Mark, get it running. Already the other quests, and let's take a look at what we have in store. I talked about the video hosting guy, so that's taken care of. Uh, okay, so this guy is done. But yeah, guys, look at that. We're now only down $910. I forgot to run the antivirus. It's okay. It's okay. Damn it. But it's okay. I said it's okay, so it's okay. All right. So we have the writer again. Okay, so this no longer turns on. Pretty sure it's the power supply, but let's just be safe. I'm not sure if this is correct or not, but he should be close to the benchmark. He's at 2143 right now. Yeah, so I might not have to do anything there. Thankfully. All right, so this is done. Go ahead, attach these sides. Put on the shroud first here. I love seeing that I have missing cables. Chances are, actually, can I finagle my way? No. It's in some games and in some circumstances, I can actually navigate the time space realm here, and I can actually interact with stuff on the inside. Well, actually, I haven't removed in the case. Chances are, yes. Really? Oh my! I just benchmark. Ah! Ah, yes. Look at the FPS. This is an FPS simulator 2022. Ah, bless. In the meantime, clean up our inbox a little bit here. Our scamming Uncle Tim, $5,000 for 10%. What this also means is that this shop is worth 50,000, which I mean I can see, right? I mean, if you really think about it, the amount of money we've made from really not doing anything has been insane. But he's not even here to help us. Yeah, so we need 2 levels for PC Bay. So I am still stuck on this. The quick screw is pretty useful. That's $2,000. Yeah, this time I have all the critical software. $10,000 for the auto cable. Uh, okay, now this is done, hopefully. Yo, we got $668. We're positive. Uh-huh. Oh, I guess tomorrow we've got nothing but RAM, really. All right, guys, it's a beautiful day. It is the end of January, the 31st, which actually it is the January 31st when I record today too. So, huh, ain't that something? Okay, so this is diagnose and fix. This is a remove viruses, but I think they also mentioned something, right? Thermal paste. That's what it was. And the thing to note too is that when you guys take off the CPU fan, even if you just put on a fresh coat of thermal paste, it will still show that there's no thermal paste physically on it. So there's no way to actually check, right, when you take off the CPU fan. But if you're already going that far already, you might as well. I might as well just put on the paste. It's free. It helps you with the reviews. Uh, there's no real reason to not do it outside of didn't feel like it. I don't think there's even an achievement, right? Like do something like fix 50 PCs without putting on thermal. But I don't think that there's anything like that. All right, cool. So I tried turning on the PC and it won't and the cables actually won't plug in. This really means one thing in the game, maybe two. I've seen it uh, in one other situation here, and it's basically you have a bad PS. All right, so found the issue. It was the motherboard, which makes sense, right? That's just not receiving power, which is either the PSU or the motherboard. So we will need to buy another motherboard here. In the meantime, let's go ahead and remove this. Swap it. Oh, this one's like purple. Uh, replace the RAM and the graphics card. So one thing you guys may notice is that I keep a lot of the used stuff. Reason for that is building a PC. It's a little bit difficult per se to explain, but basically how building a PC works is that you gain the used parts value. And what I mean by this is that I can buy a completely new graphics card. Uh, I would sell it at the used price. So it makes absolutely no sense to buy new parts and sell at a discounted rate. Where the money does come from is the fact that if you overclock certain components, right, your CPU, GPU, motherboard, that kind of stuff, you can overclock it, and that gives you a additional value. Uh, where the additional value is that the price on PC Bay changes all the time. So to really maximize what you're getting, you want to sell when this used GPU is at its highest amount. There's a lot of different calculation that gets done in there, but for the most part, uh, it's a waiting game, right? You gotta wait for the most opportune time to sell, and you really don't want to buy new parts. Now, let's say I have all the pieces, but except for I don't know a power supply. Yes, I will buy a power supply because that's relatively inexpensive. Okay, let's run the 3D Mark. Finish putting the case together here. I could have put this on while I was waiting for the restart, but if you guys didn't see one of my first videos, the issue with 3D Mark is that it takes so damn long. Like I kid you not, it takes a couple minutes for it to run through. Which is why, to me, it doesn't necessarily matter all too much. Yo, we can win a yacht. Please respond. Click here. Click here. What if that actually brings up uh, a pop up on my actual PC? Okay, so okay, here's another doctor, Dr. Reed. He bought a PC from our Uncle Tim, but he's not sure yet. Right? He doesn't know, so he's looking from us. Okay, it doesn't seem like to do any taxing unless it gets too hot, right? And what that basically means is anytime he tries to run an application, it gets too hot. Budget $0. Well, I know exactly what's wrong with this. Thermal paste. Our scumbag uncle did a shoddy job and we now have to do free work. Yo, you guys know that the one that I thought was a scam? Apparently, it's not a scam. Look at this, $4,000 in labor. Oh my god. Okay, so honestly, if I had known that this was the case, I would have just built this PC to be high enough in the first place. But whatever. G4620. Okay, so he will need to buy a new CPU. So we need the i7 77K that we can't get yet. Okay. All right. You guys know how I said that I was going to keep an eye on the recording. Luckily, I think this time it's only 10 minutes, so that's currently a record. Yeah, so I went through about a couple stuff. I don't know exactly where I left off. I'm going to speak pretty quickly here. We are going to go to the next day. Uh, in the event that this did get cut off, two things. Our scumbag uncle built a PC for Dr. Reed and forgot to put on thermal paste again. So we're going to go fix that and also run the 3D mark, which is a pain. Okay, next. Remember the guy that said could be a scammer? Looks like he's willing to pay us $4,000 in labor, so that is really not. We just have to build this PC to be recommended specs for League of Legends. With that, I can't buy the right parts just yet, so I'm gonna do basically stall tactics. I swear I'm a professional. And there it is, Team of Doctor. Which one do you think is Doctor Reed? Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah. Okay. Diagnose and fix. This is the motherboard. Okay, run the 3D mark, and then we are gonna run right over here and start putting things back together on this. And to do that, I'm just gonna sort it real quick here. Ideally, if this is my shop, I would basically have either a cabinet or something, or this PC will stay permanently on this bench until I'm done, and I'll keep all the parts near it. Reason for that is really just organization. Otherwise, you would have to use a lot of sticky notes, which is, I mean, I guess sticky notes are fine, but it's not ideal, right? Because I want to be as efficient as possible, I'm also going to bend time and space to get to the parts where I want to. You guys didn't see that. Uh, I think what's interesting is okay, no, I can't, because I'm literally just a moron then. I was gonna say, I think the interesting thing is that you can put thermal paste on just the heatsink here. Uh, no, you can't. I'm really just a moron. Okay. But oh my god, while this is going on, I'll just chit chat a little bit on the side here. You guys don't know how busy a week this week is for me. Uh, so it's only Monday when I'm recording this, and it's the day before Lunar New Year, which I do celebrate, right? So I went through, and in the morning alone today, I was on a phone call at about 6, and I did not get off the phone until about 11:50. The longest break I had was about 5 minutes, which is really not ideal, right? But yeah, it was really long, and for whatever reason, it's just really busy. And this entire week of itself, I just have a lot of meetings and demos. Uh, which isn't a problem. I mean, one, it's what I'm supposed to do. But yeah, no, it's just normally I try to space these out where I can. That is just not the case. So we are going to put in another power supply. Put on the PSU mount here. And guys, if anyone here is a manufacturer engineer, especially for PC parts like power supplies and whatnot, don't do shit like this. This is beyond tedious to do. Uh, right. Of course, make sure that it's able to be seated correctly, but don't make it a pain to remove stuff. It doesn't need to be. And if you guys are going to ask for examples, yes. There are two additional screws on the side here, as well as the four to be seated here. Really no true need for that. And if there is a need, just to just to be able to fit the PSU comfortably, just put in wedges on the side of the shroud and the case. Honestly, that's what I would do. That way, there's something to keep it in place, but also at the same time, you're not dealing with dozens of screws or half a dozen screws. Which is, mind you, more stuff for your customers to lose. The last thing you want is for your sales rep or somebody to sit there and tell the customer that no, we can't send them a screw, so they'll need to buy a whole entire uh, power supply unit. But they may have just actually bought one like a year ago. So one thing I also just noticed, there's a file on here called View from the Bushes, and I think these are supposed to be pictures, and these are supposed to be Word documents. Well, what's also interesting here is that you see this is the resume, right? So this is probably a Word document or something. Also, what is a Word document is what I did on my holidays. I would have expected that to be a folder filled with pictures, but I mean, hell, what do I know? I don't really go on vacation. And if I do, I don't really take photos because I'm not a photo person. While we are waiting on that, see here, am I supposed to run a virus scan on anything? Missing cables? I'll take a look at it in a bit. Since this should be almost done. Guys, I wasn't kidding when I said this literally takes forever. Like, literally forever. And like the nice thing too is that this is 30 frames per second. the ones where it's literally 2 frames or 7 frames, it takes even longer, right? Because mind you, that's trying to hit a certain frame. Which I don't think real life benchmarking does that. I think real life benchmarking is, at least nowadays, is a lot more recent one, I think, for the equivalent to modern day benchmarking. Cables. Is this anything I can work from out here? Probably that fan. Okay, so that fan is connected. The oh, thing I think of is maybe there's this. Oh, right here. What's interesting too is and a lot of you non PC expertise kind of persons, or anyone that just doesn't have the knowledge on how each of the PC components are used and calculated and whatnot, is that you might go, all you did was plug in some cables. Why didn't you make sure the PC could still turn in boot to OS? It's pretty easy. Power supply. The way the power supply works is that every component has a certain draw to it, and if the sum of that draw is greater than what the power supply can handle, it it just doesn't have enough power for all the parts. So the PC might not even turn on. They want an 8080. Let's see here. Doesn't look like I am able to get it yet because I need the Intel i7 7700, which I don't believe I can get. Yeah. And that's going to be the issue because that's needed for Prince Duarte. But awesome, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what you guys like and don't like. I do try to play this game only on camera. That way you guys don't miss a part. But I think we're also at the point where I can do a lot of the basic quests here. Like, I don't think you guys have seen me. I know you guys have seen me replace an air cooler before. But like most of these, I can usually skip unless there's just something interesting going on. And so far, there really just hasn't been. Uh, but yeah, let me know. Do you guys like seeing all of these fluff parts? I'll call it, or do you guys like me keeping the video shorter and more compact and only showing the cool, interesting part that's actually a part of a storyline, or if I just have something to comment on? But guys, I hope you guys have or had a wonderful day. Thank you.